I got a call from my son saying, "Dad, in a bit of a pickle here. My car was just towed and I was legally parked."
David Cunnison's reaction would be the same as any dad of a college-aged kid.
At first, my instinct was to treat it as a teaching moment and say, "Wow, that's terrible. What are you going to do?"
But that lesson got real interesting. See, David's son parked right here along West Dartmouth Avenue in Denver, just south of Loretto Heights. What appeared to be a city street with a city street sign and what looks like a city parking sign laying out the rules.
It was New Year's Day, the day that he was towed, which is a holiday. The towing company actually took pictures of where the car was parked that day. So we had documentation of here's the street sign, here's the car.
The car was towed by Elite Towing. They have signs nearby, just not near where he parked.
In total, he was charged, I think, $398 for the tow and had to pay that to get his car back or face an additional $80 a day if he fought it.
How could Elite tow from what looks like a legit street parking spot on a city street? Because it technically isn't a public street anymore. It's part of the Loretto Heights Metro District.
I found out from the receipt from the towing company that the contract is with the towing company is actually with the development company. I think it's Westside Development Partners.
They are redeveloping Loretto Heights, so David called them.
Thinking that they were just going to say, "Oh, this has been a mistake and, we'll help you resolve it." And instead, the response was the polar opposite. It was basically, "No, this is our street. Doesn't matter what the parking sign says. It's our street and we can tow anybody at any time."
We emailed too and got a much different response. Neither Westside Development nor the Metro District had any involvement with the towing incident. Both Steve on Your Side and David reached out to the Public Utilities Commission, which regulates towing in Colorado. And sure enough, David's son got a refund.
I get the feeling that once you stepped in and started calling it, the threat of perhaps making it public caused folks to change their outward perspective on it.
This dad, determined to make this a teaching moment, simply changed the lesson plan.
If you see something that's wrong or if that you've been wronged, stand up for yourself. That, in this case, I took a stand for it and he got a refund.
So what are your rights in a situation like this? In Colorado, if your car is towed from a commercial property, which apparently this public-looking street was, a representative from that property has to sign off on the tow, and you should be able to ask the property owner for that authorization. And the towing company has to provide the reason for the tow and pictures of that tow, which is why we have the pictures of David's son's car. If you feel that that reason wasn't right, you can always file a complaint with the Public Utilities Commission, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll get a refund. I'm Steve Steger, Steve on Your Side, 9 News.
Well, first of all, I'm glad he called his dad. Sometimes when they call us, you're like, no, this is your problem. But he learned to speak up for himself.
Yeah, and you imagine, the first thing that clicks for dad is, oh no, what did you do? Well, I guess you're gonna need to figure this out. But it was quite a process trying to figure out where the car went because he thought it was on a city street. There were some apartments nearby. He went into one of the apartment offices and they said, oh, I bet you that was Elite. You should go call Elite. And he called them and they had the car. And then he had to pay an after-hours charge because technically it was a holiday on top of it all. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, those things are all shady, but it's an important thing, and that was many steps.
Yeah, it was a lot of steps, and honestly, the two different responses that we got from Westside were when he called, they said, no, we can do that, and then no one was involved with that. That was the odd part of the story that we felt was worth talking about it.
Lessons come in all shapes and sizes.
They really do.
And I like how you turned it to the end. Like, it's just a different lesson,
yeah,
but it's still a lesson.
Yeah, it is.
And a good one, too.
Stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself.
I tell people that all the time. If you think something happened to you, the best thing you could do is keep fighting it, because the more that you keep it going, the more somebody on the other end might say, you know what, he's right.
That's literally your mantra.
It is. It is.
Steve, thank you.
And after you call your dad, you call Steve.
That's right.
Okay,
Second call is Steve.